Dad, I want a credit card.
No, son, you're only 8.
But Dad, I want to drive my own car.
No, kiddo, you're too young to drive.
But Daddy, there's kids doing all kinds of things now. It's 2021, and plus my birthday is coming. I'm gonna get so wasted.
What? Don't even think about it. You're too little to drink, young man.
Coming to that, Daddy?
Yeah, son?
I want to be a girl.
Oh, you're never too young to do that. In fact, let's get on it right now. We'll get you one of those gender change treatments, as they say. You'll never be a boy again. Oh, isn't this great?
Hi, this is your host Shubhangi. Welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. In this video, I shall talk to you about woke America and the latest fad among children. And as always, it's nothing good. Woke America has gone berserk, and it is not even sparing children. Pushing its unusual political agenda on social concepts of gender and race, the woke left has stooped so low that it is pushing its extremist ideas on children. No, not just on children, but the teeny tiny toddlers too. The Biden administration, along with the woke left, has been pushing radical ideas on social issues such as gender and race. And now, it has been trying to condition little children into following the same agenda. Ever since the Biden administration assumed power, gender and race have been one of the major issues, but the orders that are being pushed are extremist and radical. Even the people appointed by this woke administration are radical and promote gender change surgeries among children. Race and gender are social issues and have a deep impact on society, which is now being corrupted with radical ideas of the left being shoved down the throats of even toddlers. The fundamental problem is that woke America is propagating the idea of children having the right to decide on irreversible gender change surgeries, when even the minimum legal drinking age in the US is 21. The woke society wants children to freely undergo gender change like it's a walk in the park. And this community of woke people are in the media as well as amongst the Democrats. What kind of government is America going to have? The Washington Post recently published an article titled "Social Justice for Toddlers." These new books and programs start the conversation early. The article talked about how in this era of such repression over gender issues, it is best for parents to start the conversation about these issues as early as possible. How early, one might ask? Well, according to the Washington Post, it should be when the kids are still toddlers. According to the series of experts quoted in the Washington Post, 3-month-old infants should be taught about implicit bias, racial stereotypes, and genders. In the article, parents were given a list of books, websites, YouTube channels, and companies offering woke material for babies and young children. Author Natalie Jasionka was told by an expert, children develop implicit bias as early as 3 months old, and at 4 years old are categorizing and developing stereotypes. Another recommended, ensuring children have authentic connections to people from different backgrounds is likely to reduce bias. Then the author wrote, in the era of Black Lives Matter and Me Too, many parents are wondering when the right time is to talk to their children about social justice. Experts say it's never too early, and a new wave of tools and resources can help start the conversation. As experts say it's never too early, it seems like these experts have stretched the quote "never too early" far too thin, in implying that toddlers who cannot even speak, let alone develop implicit ideas of gender and racial discrimination, these so-called experts are pushing their radical ideas which will severely and negatively impact the upbringing of these children. While this was just a radical article on gender by a woke American media house, the worst is yet to come. According to studies reported in the medical journal Pediatrics, a small but increasing number of teenagers and even young children who believe they were born with the wrong sex are seeking help from their parents and physicians who provide them with gender-changing quote-unquote treatments. Experts advise against using puberty-blocking drugs and hormones in adolescents, and it even poses ethical concerns. And it should raise ethical questions because the website cited an example of one of the patients who was an 8-year-old girl who had announced, "I a boy," when she was just 18 months old. The 18-month-old declared that she is a boy, and her parents decided that yes, she really needs puberty-blocking hormones now because she has chosen. It is the responsibility of the parent to not give added weightage to such realities of their children. They are kids and should be treated as such. They should be cared for and explain the realities of the world. It is the responsibility of the parents to show the real world to the children and definitely not be consumed by the fantasies of a kid who is experiencing every little emotion for the first time. But one cannot even blame the parents for such stupidity, right? The current US administration has consumed itself with such far-reaching ideas on gender and race. It has even employed social justice warriors such as Rachel Levine as an assistant secretary for health and human services. Rachel has advocated for hormone therapy and gender change surgery in minors. She even warned parents not to implement ideas of gender on children and let children, who are essentially 5 to 6 years of age, decide for themselves. The wokeness has seeped into the institutions of the United States, and it threatens an entire generation of children. The president himself has submitted to the cause of woke America as he, in his first week in office, signed an executive order which removed the idea of gender in sports, and then his Democrat Party pressed for the advancement of the Equality Act. The Equality Act, quote-unquote, updates the law Congress passed primarily to combat racism, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and adds sexual orientation and gender identity as protected classes akin to race. The only problem with this Equality Act is that it reeks of woke agenda. The protection attributed to these woke ideas of the radical left is immeasurable. They have broken every fundamental concept of society and now push their radical ideas on even children. But they are protected by the man in the White House himself. The opposition has been muted at best because President Joe Biden is an enemy of societal norms, it seems, that have existed for so long.